The Chicago Cubs got back to Chicago Cubs baseball and ended up taking a big, big win yesterday in Milwaukee. And honestly, it was fun to watch because it seemed like they finally loosened up and got a win. It's your boy Big Cat sitting in for Mike. We're gonna get into it right after the intro. All right. Good morning, Chicago Cubs fans. Welcome to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. It's your boy Big Kev, holding it down for the North Side this week. As Big Mike take care of some family business. Once again, congratulations to him, his wife, and his son as well. So, listen, guys, the Chicago Cubs came into the series versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Riding high. They took 2 out of 3 versus the Chicago White Sox. They were sitting a game back in a division, and they knew they had an opportunity to overtake first place. And the first 2 games did not go so well for the Chicago Cubs. Frankly, they just looked like a team that was not prepared for the stakes that were up in front of them. They lost game 1, 8-4, and they lost game 2, 9-3. But yesterday, Shota Imanaga went out there and did what he was supposed to do: 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. But it started early for the Chicago Cubs. They let the Milwaukee Brewers know, hey, look, y'all not about to sweep us. The very first pitch was hit out of the park by Michael Busch as he batted leadoff yesterday, 388 feet to be exact. And so to Imanaga lately, bro, he's been giving up a lot of home runs. He gave up a home run right back in the bottom of the first. But then the Cubs in the third inning put up 4 runs. Pete Crow Armstrong hit a double that scored Tucker, and then Ballesteros hit a double, and that was a 2-run double right there. No, actually, that was a 3-run double. And it was what the Cubs hadn't been doing this series with runners in scoring position. They just weren't producing. Right, the other day they were 1 for 12, but yesterday the Chicago Cubs were 5 for 13 with runners in scoring position, and pitching didn't give the Milwaukee too many opportunities to score. They were 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position, which means that they didn't even have too many people make it to second base yesterday, which is a great game from the pitchers and great game from the offense of the Chicago Cubs. Now, 5 for 13 is great. It would have been cool to see do a little bit better, like 8 for 13 or whatever, but they didn't need to because they had that 3-run double in the third, and Ballesteros did his thing, and then you had Swanson and Tucker take care of business in the 6th inning, and they put up some more runs in the ninth. As Ian Happ hit a home run to cap things off to make the win 10-3. But frankly, they got back to playing Chicago Cubs baseball. The record is good and all. You're back to within 1 game, and excuse me, and you don't have to play the Brewers at all for the rest of the season. You got the lowly Orioles coming to town. So all of those things feel good right now for Chicago Cubs and the Chicago Cubs fans. They got the day off today. And then they play Cincinnati, St. Louis, Toronto, Pittsburgh. I don't know. They do play Milwaukee some more. I thought that was the end of the season series for those guys. My bad. They play Milwaukee 4 games at home from the 18th through the 21st. That's going to be huge. That is going to be huge. So they play them one more time, but it feels good to not only one tie the season series up at 3-3, but 2 stop the bleeding. It started to look like Milwaukee was gonna just big Brody's guys and outclass them, out hustle them, outplay them, out heart them, and take this and sweep them. But the Cubs yesterday, they got back to playing Cubs baseball. There were no silly errors that we saw in game 2. There were no situations where you had players swinging their pitches in the dirt while they got runners on, second and third, first and third, what have you. You saw Hustle and Hart beating out first base throws, hustling down the line. You saw defense. So yesterday was one of those games where you got to see the Cubs play the way they've been playing all season. They were playing loose. They weren't playing like, oh my God, we're playing against the Brewers and they're number 1 in the division now and we're faltering down the stretch and yada yada yada. No, they played Cubs baseball. So you got to give credit council and the players credit for doing that. Because when I tell you these first 2 games, they just did not look like the Chicago Cubs that we were used to seeing. Oh, and we had a Kyle Tucker sighting yesterday as well. Now that's something that we haven't seen since like the middle of June, the end of June. Kyle Tucker's been playing pretty pedestrian baseball over the throughout this stretch where the Cubs have been playing kind of 500-ish baseball. But again, look, he showed up yesterday. Pretty much everybody showed up yesterday, and it was good to see, man. I'm excited to see what these guys do down the stretch. But say Suzuki got a nice hit. Pete Crow Armstrong had an RBI. Nico Horner had an RBI. Dansby Swanson, who was responsible for swinging at some bad pitches in the game the other day, had an RBI. So yeah, it was a good win for the Chicago Cubs, a really good win for the Chicago Cubs. Where's my boy Kyle Tucker? He was 0 for 2, but he did walk twice. So, wait, is this the right game? No, that's not the right game. That's the first game. Hold on, here we go. Here we go. Kyle Tucker, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. That was huge for him because he had been looking like he was going the wrong direction. And I know fans want to see him, and his agent wants to see him, and he himself wants to see a $500 million type contract. He's gonna have to figure out a way to be productive for the rest of the season because, like I said, lately he's just been meh. Just meh. He got 18 home runs on the season, batting 276. But man, his last 7 games and 20 at bats, he got 6 hits, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, 9 walks, and 1 strikeout. That's good. He has his plate discipline, but we need to see better. He started the season off really, really hot, like really, really hot. Now he's kind of tapered off a little bit, and the Cubs are going to need him. Not necessarily for the rest of his career, right? Because I'm not sure if the Cubs are going to pony up $500 million for Kyle Tucker, but they're going to need him to be a world beater for the rest of the season. Like, I'm not saying go out there and be Aaron Judge, but there's no reason why you're batting 208 over the last month. He improved that yesterday, but it wasn't good leading up into the game. So it was good to see Kyle Tucker take care of business yesterday. We needed that. Michael Busch again hit his home run. So that your first 2 batters went 3 for 8 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Suzuki though, he's been struggling lately as well, striking out, lining out, but he did get 2 walks, but he did have 2 strikeouts. Now PCA, everybody loves him. 3 for 4 yesterday. This is what you expect from him, and he didn't have any defensive gaffes. Kelly didn't do well. He had 5 at bats and he was 0 for 5. Nasty work right there. But then the bottom of the lineup came through big for the Chicago Cubs yesterday. We talked about Ballesteros, three-run double. Justin Turner came in and went 1 for 1, and then you had Ian Happ go 1 for 2. You had Dansby Swanson go 1 for 5, and he had a stretch where he was playing a lot better, and he's batting about 250. You can't be mad at him. And Matt Shaw went 1 for 4. Now the bullpen came in and held things down after Shoto Imanaga. Keller, 2 innings pitched, just 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And then Thielbar with 1 inning pitch and Palencia with 1 innings pitch and a strikeout. So I'm not mad at the effort that we saw from the Cubs yesterday. They had the guys, the Milwaukee Brewers, they had to bring them down to earth a little bit. And it was good to see, man. It was good to see. And Andrew Vaughn didn't kill him yesterday. 1 for 4. He's playing, again, a lot better than when he played with the White Sox, but only 1 for 4 yesterday. No grand slams, no home runs, no 2-run doubles, none of the things that happened throughout the series. So they held their offense in check. Pitching did his job. Imanaga looked like his regular self, as opposed to how he looked last Friday versus the Chicago White Sox. And listen, maybe the Cubs organization as a whole was playing with heavy hearts with the recent passing of Ryan Sandberg. But now they're back to their winning ways, and hopefully they can sweep the Orioles before they take on a nice stretch of tough games. And they got the Milwaukee Brewers next week, so we'll see how they do at home in this 4-game set. Got to overtake this division, though. I don't want to see the Cubs. I'm sure Mike doesn't want to see the Cubs make the playoffs as a wild card. I mean, making the playoffs is making the playoffs, but you don't want to make it hard on yourself. So they have to win this division. This team is talented enough to win this division, and they need to do so by overtaking the team that's been in front of them for the last couple of seasons. So who knows if they can get it done, but we got enough time to do it. It's not all doom and gloom on the north side, but they're going to have to go out there and take care of business and not just play 500 baseball versus the Brewers either. You got to win 3 out of 4 or sweep these guys when they come to Chicago. All right, y'all already know what it is. Y'all know how to follow Mike on all his different social medias. Appreciate the love and support that you guys have over here on this channel. Don't forget to follow the rest of the Chi-Town Sports family. Just type in your favorite Chicago sports team, put the word Central behind it, and you'll find one of us. And don't forget NBA Central, NFL Central, Fighting Illini Central, and the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. It's your boy Big Kev holding it down for the North Side this week for my man Mike, who's celebrating some great familial accomplishments. And we're going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.